Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to another fabulous week of English 235. Whew, you made it through a weekend of Halloween, a blue moon, and daylight savings time. So congrats for being awesome and being here and watching this video today. We are going to be taking a look at our calendar here real quick. Yesterday you turned in the technical description document. I've taken a very cursory look over those and they're looking pretty good. I'm actually very impressed, so kudos, bravo, way to be great. As we move into week 7, we are going to be starting to build the framework of our recommendation reports. The recommendation report is the big project for the entire quarter. It's going to be double the amount of points as the rest of our project, so it's worth spending a little extra time on. Kind of laying a foundation so that when we get to that actual project, we'll have all the information and resources we need to be successful. So this week you're going to be familiarizing yourself with the process of writing recommendation reports. Markle has a great chapter on this. I've got the pages for you there. So take a look at what Markle has to say and then read about interviews because you're going to be starting your plan for an interview this week, and you're going to be turning in that interview informant profile on Sunday. So that means that we need to kind of come up with some ideas for our recommendation report, share some of those ideas in the discussion board, and then think about who we might want to interview. You don't have to interview them yet. This is just submitting a plan to interview them. So don't feel like there's a time pinch here. You have until the recommendation report is due to have those interviews done. But we want to start thinking about it, start thinking about who we want to contact and what kind of questions we want to ask. So first, we're going to take a look at the discussion and sharing. What I would like you to do here is talk about your ideas for your recommendation report. And then identify the type. Tell us why you've chosen that type, and then you're going to respond to your classmates and kind of play devil's advocate. Look and see what kind of problems there might be in this sort of report so that they can get a really good picture of how to be successful in their assignment. In the modules tab, I've got a lot of resources to help you be successful here, as always. Also, side note, if you haven't already seen it, there are extra credit opportunities in this class. Up to 3 times during the quarter, you can earn extra credit by taking a project to either the eTutors or the CBC Online Writing Center. I've got a link for all that here. Once you do that, just send me an email with your responder or tutor comments, and I will get those points added to the gradebook for you. So if we scroll on down, take a look at our interview informant stuff. We've got a PowerPoint that walks us through what kind of questions might be beneficial. Our prompt is here, as is a sample assignment, so that you've got a really good idea, maybe a format, what kind of questions should be asked, all of that good stuff. And then I've also linked the APA citation for personal interviews. So when you get into your recommendation report and you start to quote this person you've interviewed, this will be how you correctly cite it in your document. If you want to take a look at the recommendation report itself, so you've got a really good idea of what we're looking for in terms of topics and structure, I would highly recommend taking a look at this recommendation report recorded lecture. Lots of really good information here that kind of walks you through the process and what sort of topics might work, what sort of structures might work. And then here are some guidelines for the reports, a sample feasibility report, and then some topic ideas if you're feeling stuck. So there are a lot of resources to help you out. Just check on down through the proposal for the recommendation report. Check out some of those resources there as you're trying to come up with your ideas for the discussion board this week. And then as we take a look at our informant interview samples, really this doesn't have to be a terribly in-depth sort of assignment. This is just kind of looking and seeing who you want to talk to and what kind of questions you want to ask. So give me a little bit of information about the person who you want to interview. Show me what questions you want to ask, and then tell me how you're going to do this interview process. Now, many of these interviews will not be done face-to-face because COVID, right? Like, it's turned the world upside down, and that's just how life is right now. So the interview does not have to be done face-to-face. I would say do it virtually. If you can do it over Zoom or email or phone call, something like that, FaceTime, anything like that, I think is a good idea. Otherwise, of course, please be careful, be socially distanced, wear a mask, 6 feet apart, all that good stuff that we now know keeps us a little bit safer, as published by the CDC and all our other reputable scientists. So make good choices as you're doing this interview. I would highly recommend a virtual format. If you must do it in person, do make sure to wear a mask and stay socially distanced. Fabulous. All right, so that's the document you're going to be submitting on Sunday. If we pop back on over to our calendar, you'll see that we are doing our readings, we'll do our discussion topic, and then we'll do our informant profile submission on Sunday. All of this is building up toward our work on the recommendation report. Just because interviews sometimes take a long time to line up, the recommendation report isn't going to be due until the end of November, beginning of December. We're going to really start ramping up our work on that. But sometimes it's hard to get in touch with a person, sometimes it's hard to schedule stuff. So I wanted to get these informant profile interviews on the books early so you've got time. You don't run into any time crunches on this. All right, that's what we're working on this week. Exciting and fun. Should be a good time had by all. So reach out with any questions you might have. As always, I'm here to help, and have a great week, guys.